Hello, this is Jamie Mitchell, and we are back for another episode of the Libertarian Uncensored podcast, going over all the posts on the Libertarian Uncensored subreddit. Let's get right into it. So first we have TIL AOC was offered $100,000 by IPAC. She turned them down. Article from December 2023, and that's a post from theintercept.com by Silver1, a cross post from the AOC subreddit. And yeah, I definitely don't really care for AOC, but I'm glad that she didn't sell out to the, kind of the Zionist propaganda organization of IPAC. Hopefully, I won't be surprised if she sold out to other stuff, but I'm glad she at least didn't sell out to IPAC here. Then we have, anybody else get a message from Reddit about being invited to a special program to buy stocks in the IPO? What's their name here? X post / Fury of Reddit, and I posted that. And I said, I got the message, might invest if the buying is cheap enough, if only to rebuke people who say, make your own website with, I already own part of this one. I do despise this website, but in the words of some 41, I'm kind of in too deep. Then we have claims of Israeli sexual assault of Palestinian woman are credible, UN panel says, from TheGuardian.com by International Silver One. And I would agree with that. Ultimately, I'm pretty sure that, the Palestinians, they probably have some people who aren't so innocent either. But with that being said, Israel's definitely in the position of more power of being the ones who are invading Gaza rather than the other way around. That's my thoughts on that issue. Then we have Republican pledges end of democracy to rabid cheers at CPAC from NewRepublic.com by Clorox. And, I personally don't really care for democracy. But with that being said, I don't think what they're going to replace democracy with is going to be any better than what we have currently. It's going to be more statist authoritarianism. What we really need is liberty for all, not statist authoritarianism. Then we have Alabama justice who ruled embryos are people says Americans' law should be rooted in the Bible from NBCNews.com by FilmZL5563. And I personally kind of disagree with that. I think if people want to have their individual laws rooted in the Bible, I think they should be able to. But I think, we shouldn't be forcing collective laws on people if they don't want to consent to them. And that's my thought on that issue. Then we have CNN propaganda, Utah Constitutional Sovereignty Act. And that's a video from 10th Amendment Center posted by Narco Federation. They said, on the recently passed Utah Constitutional Sovereignty Act, the fear-mongering, lies, and disinformation are bad, even for CNN standards. My congratulations to Utah for taking this step. And I said, of course this is being downvoted. This subreddit loves alphabet media like CNN. Then we have state senator calls LGBTQ plus people filth when asked about death of non-binary student from publicradio.tulsa.org by Kage blah blah blah. And I definitely don't think that's too nice. But I do think the other side is using the death of Next Medic to push their agenda as well, and that's my thoughts on that issue. Then we have Jim Jordan offers startling confession on indicted Biden informant from NewRepublic.com. And that's from Kyle blah blah. And they added, maybe the guy did lie. I can't wait to hear how this is still anyone's fault but Comer and Jordan. And I definitely don't think, Jim Jordan's can be all that honest, but no politician really is, and that's my thoughts on that issue. Then we have a useful idiot from Tom 13, and that's they posted a Tom the Dancing Bug comic of Donald and John. It's about a Calvin Hobbes parody of Donald Trump, and I said, Orange Man bad, day 3175. The point I'm making is you could have made these exact comics back in 2015 or 2016 and not changed too much. It shows how much U.S. culture has stagnated, in my opinion. And that's my thoughts on that issue. Then we have, I asked Google's AI who is responsible for more harm to the world at Libs of TikTok, a social media account that posts videos of liberals on TikTok, or Joseph Stalin, the Soviet dictator who imprisoned and murdered tens of millions of his own people. That's from Sean Davis on Twitter. Often, and then and they added, Google said it was a very complex issue with no easy answer, and that's difficult to say definitively which one has caused more harm. And I said, I'm kind of surprised it didn't say Libs of TikTok was far worse than Stalin. I personally think Libs of TikTok, they are kind of propagandists with, with their narratives but with that being said, I don't think they're on the level of Joseph Stalin. But with that being said, I won't be surprised if a lot of most people on the left thought that Libs of TikTok was far worse, especially like Google's AI after all its woke programming, and yeah, that's my thoughts on that issue. Then we have hospital officials warn dozens of Alabama hospitals are at risk of closing. And yeah, I personally don't care for the Alabama's new ruling. But that being said, if the state has the force and social capital and economic capital to do something, ultimately there's nothing you can do. And that was from WAF.com by Tom Freedy. I don't know if I said that. And yeah, so next we have jury finds NRA Wayne LaPierre liable in civil corruption case from NPR.org by Tom 13. And they had no surprise here based on the pretrial evidence made publicly available. Grifter is going to grift. And I would agree the NRA is kind of a grift. But with that being said, I think it was more kind of it's more kind of a political. They're all kind of political trials these days. People just want to use the courts to enforce their agenda, and I think that's kind of what you're seeing here. Then we have the beauty of the climate change cult is that they can't be wrong because they don't define what right is, from being libertarian on Twitter. And I posted that one. That was them quote tweeting Chris Marks, who tweeted, 8 years ago, Wired was worried that California is becoming too dry because of climate change. Wired is now concerned that California is becoming too wet because of climate change. I guess the quote-unquote the science changed. And I said, the science is always right because that's what people on TV say, and they would never lie to them, would they? And that's my thoughts on that issue. Ultimately, it's the science can be whatever they market it as, and the people aren't going to are going to accept it as long as the narrative's as long as the narrative says to. That's my thoughts on that issue. Then we have Title from International Silver One, and that's a crossover from the political comedian subreddit, and it's Lisa Simpson at the board of that meme, and it says poor people shouldn't have to pay taxes, and I said no people should be forced to do anything that they don't want to. So I don't think anyone should be forced to pay taxes they don't want to. That's my thoughts on that issue. Then we have Marines pass full financial audit, a first for any U.S. military branch, from DefenseNews.com by Andy Say. And I think, that's good, but, it just goes to show you how low the bar is when we hold the government if it's only now they're passing their first ever audit for a military branch, or first ever successful audit. Then we have everyone who agrees with me acts in good faith, and everyone who disagrees with me acts in bad faith. And that was a self-post that I made. And I said, not calling out anyone in particular here, just seems to be the general feeling on social media. And that's my thoughts there. Everyone thinks, everyone on my side is good, everyone on the other side is bad. It's just kind of a binary thinking of the world that I don't think is all too productive right now. And I think we're going to wrap up there. Kind of a short one today. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.